right, so here I am. I wanted to do problems on 9.1, 9.2 to help you guys out. So 9.2, number 18 is what I was going to make a video for. So here's number 18. It says the side length of an equilateral triangle is 5 centimeters. Find the length of the altitude. So an equilateral triangle means that all the sides are the same length. So if this one's 5 centimeters, then this one is 5, and this one is 5. Now the altitude is a line that goes from the point of the triangle and makes a 90-degree angle at the bottom of the triangle. In an equilateral triangle, that means that it splits this in half. So at the bottom in half. So this is 2.5 on one side and 2.5 on the other side. Okay, now we're going to look at this triangle here. We want to find the length of the altitude. That is my x. I want to find that length. So we know we can use the Pythagorean theorem to find that out. Here I'm going to do a squared plus b squared. Oh, you know what? I'm going to write it over here. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay, c squared is always my hypotenuse. So I'm going to put that for my c. 5 squared goes for c. My b, I'm going to put 2.5. And my a is x. Okay, now I have x squared. I'm going to put these in my calculator, plus 2.5 squared 6.25 equals 25. And a minus, I want to get x squared alone, so minus 6.25 on each side. I get, I'm going to write it right here, x squared equals 25 minus 6.25. I get 18.75. Okay, now I have to take the square root. Let me make sure you can see that okay. Yep. Square root, to get rid of my x squared, I have to square root it. So if x equals square root 4.33. So that would be my answer. But if you look closely here, it says round your answers to the nearest tenth. The nearest tenth means 1 decimal place. So if I sit here and put 4.33 for my answer, it's going to count that as wrong. So I'm just going to do 4.3. 4.3 is my answer, and you're good to go. Okay, so now we're going to look at 9.4, number 19. Or sorry, not 9.4, 9.1, 9.2, number 19. It's this big drawbridge one. Okay, so here is my triangle. It gives me this triangle here, with this length being 284, and then this angle here being x. So it says, how high does this drawbridge raise when x is equal to 30? So this angle is 30, and we want to know the height. Here's my height here, so this I'm going to name h. We'll do it as h. My height, h. So how high does it raise? Well, I know I have 30, we've done 30, 60, 90-degree triangles. So if this is my 30 degrees here, my shortest side, this is 1. My hypotenuse is always 2, and my side close to my 30 degrees is square root 3. So I have these two triangles I can compare. So I want to solve for h. H goes over this side here. So I have h over 1 equals, I got to start on this side, 284. So then this side goes with this side here. 284 over 2. I'm going to cross multiply. H times 2 is 2h. 1 times 8 is 284. I'm going to divide each side by 2. So H equals 142 feet. That would be my answer for this first part here, 142. Okay, now this next part here asks how high does the drawbridge raise when x is equal to 45? So when I have a 45, 45 triangle, that's what it's asking. So here's my triangle here. My x, this guy is 45. This is still 284. And then this here is my h. So we're going to do the same thing we did up here, but with a 45, 45 triangle. So this is 1, 1, square root 2. Okay, so I'm going to do h over 1. This side goes with this side here. So h over 1 equals 248 over square root 2. Sorry, 284 over square root 2. Now I'm going to cross multiply. Here, h times the square root of 2 is the square root of 2 times h equals 1 times 284 is 284. Now we're just dividing. I'm going to divide by the square root of 2 to get that alone. Divide by the square root of 2. I end up with h equals, if I stick this in my calculator, 284 divided by the square root of 2 is 200.82. 200, and it says round to the nearest hundredth, so 200.82. That would be my answer for that second part. Okay, let's look at the third part. Okay, this third part is saying how high does a drawbridge rise when x is equal to 60? So this angle, let me try to draw this triangle, is now 60 degrees right here. Let me draw this a little bit better. I'm going to make that my longest side. So this right here. There we go. That still doesn't look the best. That is 60 degrees there now. Now my shortest side, this should be my shortest side here, and I apologize, it does not look like it. It should look like this. Let's do our triangle like this. There we go. So here's my angle now. This is 60 right there. That's what it'll look like now. So my shortest side is 1, my hypotenuse is 2, and then my side close to my 30 degrees, this is 30 degrees up here, is square root 3. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cross multiply. So here's the triangle on the bridge. This is 284. This is 60, and this is my height. I want to find my height there. So my height goes over the square root of 3. And then this 2, and my 284 go with each other. So I'm going to do 284 over 2. Cross multiply. I get h times 2, which is 2h, equals square root of 3 times 284 is 284 square root of 3. Divide by 2. H equals 284 the square root of 284 times the square root of 3 divided by 2. So this is going to be 245.95. And that makes sense that this would have the highest height because look at it. This one has the longest side as its height. So it makes sense for it to go in order like that. So this is 245.95. And you got that problem done. Okay, last one I want to do on 9.1, 9.2 is number 20. So here's number 20. This is dealing with similar triangles, which we have done before. It's just been quite a bit of time. So similar triangles here. I have this triangle similar to this one. Now a DF means the side DF goes with LM. These two sides go with each other. And then EF, we don't want EF. We want this other side, DE So DE, oh, I did that backwards. I'm sorry. Hang on. So sorry, I did that wrong. Let's start again. Okay, so DE here goes with LM. So those two sides go with each other. And then here, DF, D and F go with L and N, L and N. So I'm going to set up proportions like we've been doing this whole time, basically. Setting up proportions, I'm going to do X goes over my 20 equals my 30 over 12. Again, sorry, X goes with 12. X goes with 12. X goes with 12 and 30 goes with 20. So sorry. Okay, so now I'm just going to cross multiply. Oh, sorry. Okay, so X times 20 is 20X equals 30 times 12 is 360. Divide by 20, divide by 20, you get X equals 18. And that's your answer. Take a minute at that for a minute. See if that makes sense to you.